This is the video on the defining range, which is going to be made without any rehearsal, without any preparation. So the defining range was a single sentence mentioned by Day all the way back in the beginning. And the reason that over the last few weeks you've heard more and more people talk about it is because we, number one, put it in a video without anyone realizing. Number two, there are most likely a large number of people who are able to use the concepts that we've been taught over the last 6 months, and they find themselves lacking the kind of accuracy that they see other members able to achieve. And they want that. And it's led them back to the defining range. So something to ponder upon is a single sentence, a single 30-second clip is so important. How much more important is everything else that's being said? Something to think about. So for those of you who have not had the chance to watch the video where Day talks about the defining range, terrible. But what is the defining range? The defining range is T2 to T3 of the first quarter of any cycle. Here, we're dealing with a larger Asian session from 6 p.m. on Sunday to midnight on Sunday of the week before. This is playback mode. You've all seen me do it live, so I don't really give a fuck. But if we focus in on the first quarter of the defining range, we focus in on the T2 and T3 of the first quarter, you'll find that you are presented with a range in price from low to high. What we then do is to pull a fib tool. You're not pulling a Fibonacci retracement. You are not using Fibonacci numbers. Please remember this. You are using the tool to determine standard deviations of the range. We then look for -1 to -1.5, and on the upside we have 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.54. What is then expected is for price to, during the Judas swing, come down to take liquidity at the level of 1 to 1.5 standard deviations away from the defining range. As you can see, letters are green, which means on the micro sessions, so 90-minute cycles, this is the 5-minute chart, we are in discount. The projected 1 to 1.5 is below the true session open. This is where understanding that this is not a Fibonacci retracement is important. We are looking for levels of liquidity that match up with the standard deviations. We are not using these, and because I've plotted a magic line, price should stop exactly there. Fuck off. Seriously. You are looking for liquidity pools that are present at the right standard deviations. If I press play, you will see that price then came down into the liquidity pool right here during a specific window. This happened at a specific time. Without this, whatever analysis you've got is invalid. We are below London session open. We are within the liquidity pool that we expected. We are now waiting for change in the state of delivery and looking to enter a trade with the stop loss well below and the target of 1 to 1.5, whatever you want. I don't know how you want to pull your entry model. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that change in state of delivery, how you want to place your entry. Obviously, I'm not showing it here. But you have to have your entry model for when price comes to your liquidity pool that you have marked from the defining range. This will then give you the potential target that we marked out earlier. Rehearsed, blah, 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 hindsight. I don't care. You've seen me do it live. This is why many people have come with questions about the defining range. Now, here's something that many people seem to be missing. Within each defining range is another defining range. This is the 5-minute. If I go up to the 15-minute, you will find there is a larger defining range. If you mark up that defining range, and go back down to the 5-minute, you will realize there's probably smaller defining ranges on the lower time frames. Now, what if you could use those defining ranges to plot targets? What if you could use the defining ranges of each of these cycles to plot targets for the higher time frame defining range? We used 6 to 7:30. There is another there is another, and there is another. Not going to make that as easy as some of you want it to be. So, how do you use the defining range, or rather, how do you tailor the use of the defining range to your model? This is where backtesting comes in. We are not asking you to backtest to see if this concept works or not. We are telling you to backtest so that you observe it playing out. You understand when it works, when it doesn't work. When it works, how long does it take for the targets to be hit? When is the invalidation? When should I abandon the idea? How does it work? You then go on to develop your own method of understanding how, when you plot the defining range, how does it work for you? And as long as you stay consistent in that method, you will have, right, I know this is going to work 80% of the time. I know this will work 70% of the time. And you will have the confidence to keep doing it that way. So the key takeaway is pair up standard deviations with liquidity pools. Without the liquidity pools, standard deviations mean fuck all. If you have any questions, you can post it on WAP in the community chat, and I will try